What is up, guys? Coach Vass here. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new, appreciate you tuning in, listening to me talk about these workouts. We're going to break down Saturday, October 4th, which will also repeat on the 19th. This is an ESP 30-30 day. There's only treadmill and weight floor in the 2G. There is no rowing, but of course in the 3G there is. We'll talk about the key concept of the 2G, then go over the 3G. We're going to start steady, work on incline, and finish with power. So today is all about holding your effort as the challenge builds each block. No rowing in the 2G. On the 3G key concept, just so you know, we'll start steady in block 1, slow it down in block 2, find your power in block 3, endurance, strength, power. On the floor, we'll have 3 blocks, 3 focuses, high reps for endurance in block 1, heavy weights in block 2, finish with burpees, power. You will need benches in the low bench position today, and of course we're using dumbbells. So block 1 on the treadmill is 9 minutes. There's a 90-second walk recovery. Next block is going to be just under 7, 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Another 90-second recovery, and then they finish with a 4-minute and 30-second block for power. On the treads, it's very simple. The goal is to maintain the push and the base intensities. We're going to alternate between a 1-minute push and a 1-minute base, 4 rounds with a bonus 1-minute push on the other side. Knowing that the goal is to maintain, people could start conservative, be aggressive, but whatever they pick, they got to stick with it. Of course, if they're conservative, we should see a nice ebb and flow of that heart rate response. Definitely by that second, third round, they're tapping into the orange during the push, coming back to the green during base. If they're aggressive, it'll trend upwards, slowly coming back down, but it won't get down to that green by that third and fourth round, and that's fine. Hey, power walkers 6% or greater, joggers and runners 1 to 2 over their base speed, bikes and striders 3, maybe 4 gears over base for their push, and then they go back to their base gear every other minute. Now, block 2 is the unique one for today. Members have a choice of incline to pick from in a range, and they're going to maintain their base speed, including the power walkers, and then they're going to maintain their incline during the walks. Lower their speed as needed to make sure heart rate trends towards the green. So whatever their base was, they're going to be using that. 45 seconds base hill climb, power walkers anywhere from 8 to 10% incline. Joggers and runners 6 to 8% incline. Whatever incline they use though, they're sticking with that for the rest of the block. After 45 seconds at their base, they walk at that incline. So it's not a power walk, so they could bring the speed 3.4 or less. We want to make sure that heart rate does trend down. Joggers and runners, they could probably go to like a power walk speed to keep that intensity high, but still see some heart rate recovery. Power walkers, they'll definitely probably drop their speed. Now for the bikes and striders, they're going to try to find 1 gear to maintain throughout the block, and they're going to drop their RPMs between 60 and 80 during the walk efforts for recovery. So hopefully during the base, they're around 80 to 100 RPMs, holding like a, conservative push gear, so maybe 3, and then during the walks, keep the gear, but they pedal slower, okay? That way we still see that ebb and flow of heart rate response. Finally, block 3 is power. We're gonna see a 30-second all out, 5 times, with a 30-second walk recovery, and the goal is to maintain. Because they're equal work and recovery, be aggressive, drop that walk speed as much as needed, okay? Not too much to really talk about the treads, because everything is equal in terms of like time, keeps it simple. Looking at the weight floor though, this is where it's kind of unique. We're going to see work and rest for all 2 blocks for endurance and strength, and then back to back for power in block 3. Block 1, we're going to have a low bench alternating step down reverse lunge to single leg knee drive, anywhere from 12 to 16 reps with weight. For this movement, start on top of the bench. They'll step off, that foot will then drive up, step back onto the bench, then the other side, okay? Obviously, doing this without the bench is a great alternative to reduce that range of motion. That pairs up with the bridge hold chest fly. That's gonna put them at a slight decline, targeting a little more of that lower pec muscle. Make sure they reach out, get that stretch in the chest, and then squeeze at the top. And then they have the high plank alternating dumbbell tap. If they're reaching out, trying to keep those hips stable, they could do a shoulder tap as a good alternative. They'll have 90 seconds to recover, and then block 2, focus in more strength-focused movements. We're gonna see sumo deadlift to sumo squat, low bench chest press, and a low side plank leg lift for some hip stability. They'll just keep repeating that. And then power, we're gonna have 2 movements back to back. dumbbell burpees paired up with the squat to press, also known as the ground to overhead, 8 reps for each, rest, 6 reps for each, rest, 4, then 2. If they finish all that, they'll just keep repeating 2 reps for both movements until the finisher, which is a dumbbell burpee squat to press for a final 30. All right, now when we look at the 3G, of course, we'll see 3 blocks on the treads, rowers, and 2 blocks on the weight floor. Treads, we'll start with endurance, 1 minute push, 1 minute base, 3 rounds, where you, after the 3rd push, they take it to a 1 minute walk. Block 2 is that same hill climb situation, 45-second base, 45-second walk, anywhere from 6 to 8% for the joggers and runners, power walkers 8 to 10%. During the walks, keep the incline, drop the speed. And then the all-out walk recoveries for block 3, they lose a round. So it's just 4 all-outs, 3 walks. On the rower, we'll do endurance row for block 1, 300-meter push row, followed by the 1-2-3 knee drive combo. The goal is to maintain push row intensity. So can they match their time, right? Split time stays the same. Average watts stay about the same. So use those metrics to make sure the intensity maintains. Block 2, maintain the push row at a stroke rate range, okay? 200 meters, 20 to 22 strokes per minute, paired up with a bodyweight squat to alternating crossbody knee drive, okay? Maybe start with a little bit higher stroke rate to begin with, and as they drop the stroke rate, increase leg drive would be a way to increase the intensity, okay? And then the 3rd block is gonna be timed up the treads, 30-second all-out row, recovery row, maintain the all-out row intensity, and definitely use that recovery row to catch their breath. The weight floor, block 1, longer block, just under 10 minutes. It is going to be the endurance work and rest, but only the reverse lunge to knee drive and the bridge hold chest fly. So they will drop the high plank dumbbell tap, and then they'll have 2 rounds. Then they go to strength, 2 rounds of the deadlift to squat and the chest press. So they drop the side plank. Once they've done 2 rounds, they'll just repeat that sequence. And then for the 2nd block, the power one, this is just like the 3G. So burpee and squat to press, 8, 4, 2. So they actually drop quite a bit because they're going to decrease reps by half. Once they've completed 3 rounds, then they will repeat the 2 rep round until the burpee squat to press. They drop that round of 6 because the block is shorter by a full minute, since they're losing a round on the treads. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, that is it for this really fun ESP workout that we'll see on the Saturday, October 4th, and then repeat on Sunday, the 19th. There you go, coach it down.